We're going to have a look and see what His Majesty thinks of the blatant Diana cosplay. But they will arrive in New York hand in hand. Oh, yeah. Like veneers for days, a rigid smile, beige everywhere. And well, it mightn't be beige. Maggie the Eggy. Let's have a look. Come on, King Charles. What did you make of... Because we know William and Catherine came through on the reading I did, like the recorded reading I did, but we don't know. Maybe it's part of the Netflix documentary on Diana, possibly. I don't even know if that'll go ahead, you know. I don't see it, but that doesn't mean it won't happen. I don't feel it. If you do, that's a big mistake. Big mistake. Which could have actually been the Fool in reverse there. Okay, let's have a look. How did His Majesty feel about this? Let's have a look. The 9 of Cups in reverse. He doesn't want her anywhere near him. He thinks there's an energy here that Megsy's somewhat gate crashed something. He thinks she's smug, entitled, full of herself, with the 9 of Cups in reverse. The Wheel of Fortune in reverse crossing over. Again. He's not a daft man, is King Charles. I know he gets a hard time at the minute, but he's not a daft man. One of the things he is interested in is spirituality. Unfortunately, that opens him up to quite a lot of criticism. But one of the things he is aware of, and I know he's worked with like shamanic practitioners from Africa and places like that as well. So he'll be aware of the ebb and the flow of energy in the universe. So there's this element of like you are making your bad luck. And she's building up that bad luck. It's almost like she's wanting to tempt fate. And he knows it's about William as well, the King of Cups in reverse. They know. And underneath it's the 3 of Pentacles. Okay, in reverse, which is interesting because that came out from Harry. I would say with these cards, he doesn't want a lot to do with them. All of them are in reverse for a start. The 3 of Pentacles is usually working together and coming together and being quite grounded and, you know, mucking along, you know, in a nice... There isn't that there. He knows this was to get at William, and his concern on the outside is very much William. So that's good to know. We have the Temperance in reverse there. So he thinks he just can't get it together and it's a bad thing. And here we have got the 6 of Pentacles. Okay, there is going to be more coming out with charities involving Megsy and Harry. Interestingly enough, though, the king is very aware of this. Very aware of it. That is interesting. So there's something further to come out. The Sun is in reverse. Okay. We get that. We understand that. And the 8. Right. He doesn't think they're capable of doing anything. He doesn't think that, like I was just saying in the last reading, he doesn't think they are capable of making their own name and standing out for themselves. The Sun in reverse there, it's the whole darling boy thing. He still has that. I know it's different for parents, but he, like, William's done. Like, William's just like over it. I'm not saying it can still hurt him, but I don't think William's ever expecting a relationship back with his brother. But the king's kind of like, it's still my son. And, you know, I don't think a lot of parents aren't able to cut off their children, you know. The 8 of Pentacles in reverse, he knows they've got no skill, he knows they've got no talent, he knows they've got nothing, and the work ethic is there. So this is very much like he's just like, oh my god. he would be a bit more receptive to them if they changed their tune. And here we have the Knight of Swords in reverse. They're going to make a big fuss about security and come at the king that way. Temperance in reverse. He thinks it's a bad idea. It's not flowing. They couldn't get it together. It wasn't coming from a place of goodwill, all of this planning and how they got here. There's an element here as well. And I think very much so that maybe Megsy just kind of got an invite quite later on into it. Yeah. Let me just tell you, like, if, right, I saw a really good post and I couldn't find it again because I only like pop on X just to check and then jump off again. But like there was a really good post by somebody, and the author of the post had listed all of the things that would play into the Markles' hands if the king stripped them. And basically it would be Netflix on steroids, Spare on steroids. It would be like, you know, so I think it is gonna end up being William that does it, but I do think something will come eventually. Also, the thought of the Spencers, yeah, it does. Actually, that's a good idea. We should look into Charles Spencer and see what he thinks. But he's a funny fish, you know. He's a weird fish. I mean, look what he said at the Diana's funeral, and look how he's kind of monetized things since then. You know what I mean? It's just like, yeah, we want privacy, but also it's you can come in for 20 quid or whatever it is, you know. And I get he needs to look after his estate, but it's still kind of like it's still not right. Northy, have a theory. The dumb one knew she was going and didn't care that she did kind of on it because William's interview, she did it to get William's head due to him not getting in her drawers. Probably. Why do we need to look at what's Katie Hopkins done? What's happening with Katie Hopkins? What's going on with Katie Hopkins? What has she said? Patience once told me you can get rid of your parents, but you can never get rid of your children. I really believe that. Let's have a look. Meghan towards the king. Meghan towards the king. Was she directing any of this energy towards the king? There's Harry in reverse. She's got him like, he's not going bald. That's her thumbprint. Yeah. That's why he's lost so much hair. There's the sun. She is relying on the sun in reverse. She is relying on the king's link to the grandchildren. Recollections may vary if they even exist, and they're just a pair of Cabbage Patch dolls. We know. But that sun in reverse, that's thank you for joining the Curious Corgi. Good to have you here. It's nice to have a corgi on site. The Nine of Wands, boundaries. She went over boundaries. She doesn't care, guys. She does not care. And the Six of Cups, she's trying to trigger memories. The Prince of Swords is in reverse. The Knight of Swords, Prince of Swords, same thing in two different decks. This is all about security. They're doing a security. They're trying to get security as well. I know. I figured it out. Yeah, I think he does. I think with the microphone, sorry guys, I'll just go off on that one. I think with the microphone, it like really is like Merlin, just like boom. The cat's jumping on here and knocking things and There's the Star in reverse. There's the Seven of Wands in reverse. There's the King of Swords in reverse. There's the Sun in reverse again. See what I mean about the Sun? She is so trying to get the King's attention with the Cabbage Patch dolls. It's unreal. The Seven of Wands in reverse underneath there. The Seven of Wands in reverse is she is going to be going on the attack, saying she's on the defensive. The King of Swords around her. Boozy is a Gemini. And Boozy's name's been coming up again and again and again and again lately. Those old school kind of 2020, 2021 squaddies who were slightly different to the 2018, 2019 squaddies, but those ones that were really like, who came once they left the royal family, that kind of energy. So I wonder if we're going to get a lot more Boozy. The Sun in reverse, she's trying to triangulate her kids to get something she wants from it. And the Ace of Cups is in reverse. She's a real piece of work. The Star in reverse could be something coming up involving an Aquarius that she's not going to be happy about. It could be seemingly being, well, Aquarius's negative traits, being aloof, seemingly cold, seemingly a little bit over analytical, and very much can cut people, like just kind of goes off, you know. I'm speaking from an Aquarius as well. The Ace of Cups in reverse there. The Ace of Cups in reverse. They really are trying to draw that Diana's memory and Diana's image to them. Can you imagine being alive in this life and the only thing that you've got any claim to or want or feel like your validators is through owning somebody else's spirit? That's a sad place to be, man. That's a sad place to be. It's pathetic, really. She's such a bit of work, man. She does, Polish does, because, right, I think she does get justice because she doesn't get what she wants. She really doesn't. She doesn't get the adoration. Yeah, she's famous, but in people's minds, right, when they say, I want to be famous, they expect that they're going to be like, you know, a movie star and get clapped and have all this kind of shiny aura about them and be on the front cover of Vogue or, I don't know, whatever, or Variety or Rolling Stone, whatever your bag is. But she's not. She's not famous. She's infamous. People love to dislike her. She's a pantomime villain. I don't know if you guys have got pantomimes, villains, like, you know, like, what do they call her? Widow Twanky. Like, you've got somebody like that. You've got somebody, she's an oddity. And I don't think she would like that. I don't think her ego would like that. She's a, you know, I mean, she's just not. I think Harry knew she was going to pull that stunt, yeah. I think he did. Faking beige. She is a psychopath, OP. I was going to mention something about the why she was wearing her papal fashion. I don't know if it's because the clothes were baggy, so it made her look smaller, if you know what I mean, because sometimes the baggy clothes, if you've got a smaller frame, makes you actually look smaller because the clothes kind of like swamp you. So maybe that's that, and they weren't necessarily thing, but yeah. But she did have a lot of shine. She did have a shiny face, and it did look like she'd really buffed. I was like, that's not that cannot just be highlighter. That needs to be something else as well. Well, she's getting her name known around the world. Yeah. Vaseline. That could be it. The king knows she's fixated on William. So that's progress. Mr. Muscle loves the jobs you hate. What's the little dude who looks like Penfold that does the makeup? What's he called again? Do you know who I mean? People are losing bone density. Oh, that's not good. Do you know what I really thought like with Ozempic and things like that. I mean, if you've got a weight issue and you have got type 2 diabetes, then yeah, I would guess use it. But just using it because you can't be bothered to eat a salad's a little bit weird, isn't it? Daniel, that's it. She's got gasoline on her face. Any attention is good attention, yeah. And don't you think it's weird how the Markles turned up last week and had a big ooh, and then an interview with the Daily Fail and all that kind of stuff? And then Megsy rears her head. So it looks like the dad's interview was going to, if the Daily Mail person was already out there and was doing an interview with him, it looks like there was going to be a Markle paternal interview that week as well. So